If you have your hot little hands on an iPhone 14, there are a few incredible camera tips that I'd like to share with you. Since Apple released their iPhone 14 range, we have a brand new video feature to work with called Action Mode. Now, aside from your iPhone's sensor-based image stabilization, Action Mode is actually a digital effect that's applied to your video file after it's been shot. Now, a common mistake people make when they're first shooting with Action Mode is they're judging it by the live camera preview. It doesn't really look any different to a regular video, so don't judge it by that. The effect gets applied to the file once it's saved to your camera roll. On playback from your camera roll, well, that, my friend, is where you're going to see the full impact. In video mode, you'll find the Action Mode icon in the top bar. A simple tap will turn it off and on right here. The icon may appear on either the left or the right side of the top bar, depending on what other camera controls you have turned on in your camera settings. In this demonstration, I'm filming Megan running without Action Mode on, so we have some kind of idea how the base video mode would capture this motion normally. Now, let's do that whole thing again with Action Mode turned on this time. I'm sure you'll agree the softening of the camera shake is actually quite impressive. Interestingly, Action Mode uses the iPhone's ultra-wide lens by default, but you can quite happily select either the wide lens or the telephoto lens as well. The stabilization effect works strongest, however, when using the default ultra-wide angle lens. There's a quick way to access some options in the camera app. Here in the top right, you can toggle between your video capture frame rates, and next to that you can select either HD resolution or a hybrid 2.8K ultra-high resolution too. Next to video mode, you'll find cinematic, a soft focus video mode. Above the shutter button, you'll see the available lenses. Let's switch to a camera view to show switching those two lenses, in my case a 3x tele and a 1x wide, on this plant shot. To keep the foreground leaves in focus, a long press on those leaves will bring up the autofocus tracking box, which will stop the focus drifting to other movement within the frame. Cinematic mode will also happily work with your iPhone's selfie camera. Hello. The top bar also gives us access to some additional manual controls. Tap on the drop-down arrow and a new menu appears. The middle button gives us access to exposure control, so you can over or underexpose the shot. To the right, a button gives us access to aperture control, allowing us to select how soft we want that background focus effect to be. I personally find f4.5 to be the sweet spot for most of my shots. Back inside the camera view, controls selecting your available video resolutions and a range of available frame rates will display in this top right corner. Beside those, the current shooting aperture is displayed, and a tap on that will also open up your aperture control. And if we visit our camera settings, enter preserve settings, and then turn on exposure adjustment so it turns green, we can now navigate back to our camera view, and in the top left-hand corner, we'll now have quick access to a handy exposure control slider. And this will now be accessible there for all of your different camera modes too. Traditionally, iPhones have really struggled taking macro photos or videos. No matter what you try, you just couldn't focus down to anything close to macro. But the latest iPhones have switchable macro mode that's actually really impressive. To enable macro on iPhone 13 Pro and newer, navigate to Settings, then Camera, then at the base of the menu tap on Macro Control. If we now switch back to our camera view and I grab this little starfish decoration here, you can see that the macro icon turns on as I bring it close to the ultra-wide lens. Now we can focus down to just 2 centimeters to capture intense detail. Of course, tapping the macro icon will also turn the function off and on as desired. Macro mode switches automatically in video mode, so you'll see that icon on screen nice and easy. You can also use macro in time-lapse mode, but only if you switch to the ultra-wide angle lens. And same for slow-mo. Select the ultra-wide lens, lock your focus nice and close, and hit record. The effects can be truly stunning. Did you find that helpful? I'd actually love to know your thoughts, so please drop a comment here for me, or maybe you've got a burning iPhone camera question you'd love to ask, well, fire away, and I'll happily make that into a new video as well. Until next time, stay creative, legends.